Hello everyone, Alex here from WarnOffKeys.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can add and remove elements from an array that is located inside of a MongoDB document. So previously in the series, I've created this very basic application here, and we're currently working on storing some user data. A link to a GitHub repository that has all of this code can be found in the video description. And real quick before we start, if you do need any help, then please feel free to leave a comment down below, or better yet, join the Warn Off Keys Discord and ask me there. I'll try my best to get back to you if you post your question in one of those places. So with that said, let's get started. So currently our user just has an email, username, password, and a message count. Obviously this is just an example, but let's say that we wanted to track every single time this person has changed their username. So we can say name history, and this is going to be an array of strings. Now to specify that within a Mongo schema, we can put empty brackets here and then type the type of variable that we want. In this case, it is string. So this is going to now say that name history is going to be an array of strings. Going back to the main file, we see that we're simply just connecting to MongoDB at the moment. To make sure that this works, we can go into our console and we can run node index.js. We then see connected to MongoDB, so everything is working so far. Now I'm going to want to actually add something into the array right here for name history. So let's add in some dummy data. So we can say const new name equals Joe, and then I can say await user schema dot find one and update. This is a function I covered in a previous video. A link to that video will be in the video description. And then within here, we're going to have two different objects. The first is going to be the actual filter or conditions to try and find the documents. And so this is going to be the unique ID. So if I minimize my console and I go inside of MongoDB Atlas, we see our document right here. The email is test@email.com. For simplicity, I'm just going to copy this and use it within the actual condition or filter here. So we can say email will be test@email.com. And then now this second argument is going to be the actual document that we want to either insert or update. And so here I can say $push, and then this is going to have an object with a key value pair where the key will be the name of the array and the value will be the element to actually push onto that array. So checking our schema, we see that our actual array is called name history. So going back to our index file, we could say name history. And then here we want to actually add in new name. So I'm going to go ahead and save this file. Going back into Mongo, we see that we have no name history array here, but going into my console and running this with node index.js, we can then minimize the console and click on find. And we now see a name history array here. If I open this, we see Joe. However, if I run this code again, just by simply pressing up in my console, we can then go back into Mongo. And if I click on find, we're going to see that name history now has two Joes. So there might be some instances where you want to push to this array only if that element doesn't exist. And the way to do that is instead of using $push, we're going to say $add to set. And this is going to add it to this array if the value of new name does not exist anymore, or does not exist yet, I should say. So if I save this and I run the code again, we can go back into Mongo Atlas and click on refresh. And then we see under name history, we only have two items here. So if I click on the pencil here to edit this, and then hovering over these two elements on the left, we see this X icon. I can actually click on these to delete them. So I can stage them both for deletion, and then I can click on update on the bottom right. And here we see our name history is now empty. So just to prove that this works when it comes to an empty array, if I run this 2 times, so there's 1, and then here's 2. I can then go and click find, and we see under name history, we just have 1 instance of Joe. Now to actually remove this element from the array, instead of adding push, we can add pull. So here we're going to pull from the name history array with whatever the value is inside of the new name variable. In this case, that is Joe. So if I save this and I run the code, I can then go back into Mongo Atlas and I can click on find. And we are going to see that name history is now an empty array. Thanks for watching this MongoDB tutorial. If you need help or have a video request, feel free to leave a comment down below or ask in the Warnoff Keys Discord, which will be linked in the video description. If you want to learn more about MongoDB, you can consider clicking on one of the videos you see on your screen now.